So here's a short video of our Escape 21, which are for sale on eBay right now. As you can see, there's a hook mounted there. We used to use that for hanging our Christmas wreath. It's a 3M thing. There's a lot of these hooks on the camper and they come off pretty easily if you don't want them there. In front there's this storage compartment which we use to put our carpets and chairs in. It has drain holes in it so you can put wet things in here. There's a hitch lock and the bar for the load distribution and the sway controller. Here's the hitch. It has mud flaps attached to it. There's the load leveling bars. It uses a 2-inch ball, which is interesting. There's an electric tongue jack on it, dual propane with an automatic changeover, and there's a hitch lock and a tongue lock as well. Over on the side, you can see there's a cargo compartment down here. It's also accessible from the inside. There's an outdoor shower. I don't have the shower device that connects to this, but it's available in most RV stores. There's the hot water heater. I recently replaced the zinc. There's an extra zinc. It has both electric and gas. There's a switch mounted on the inside. Here's the sewer connection. There's an extension on there to make it easier to do. And you can see there's a light here. Furnace. Alloy wheels all around, including the spare. There's lug nut covers on there. If you do change the tire, take the lug nut cover off first. There's also wheel locks on all the wheels, including the spare. And there's the refrigerator, runs on 12 volts, 110 volts your gas. Water inlet for both the water tank and city water. Put an elbow on there, it makes it easier, it keeps the hose from crimping. Here's the rear compartment where we normally keep all the electric and water. As I noted in the listing, we got bumped into by somebody and they knocked the latch off. Just a little battle patch there to repair that. There is a 25-foot long, I believe 25-foot power cord that comes with it, as well as an extension cord. Let me just go over some of the accessories here. Here's extra wheel bearing seals, grease, as well as a grease gun with the same kind of lithium grease, synthetic. There's the extension cord. We have a water hose, a hatchet for some reason. These blocks are fairly new. They include glow-in-the-dark ramps which attach. You can make really neat little sort of Lego ramps out of this. There's the crank for the, they're not leveling jacks, they're stabilizing jacks. Wheel chocks, distilled water. There's a wheel lug wrench that includes, you'll see taped to one side is the wheel lock and the other tape marks the correct lug nut size. There's some spare parts including the zinc as well as some hinges for the cabinet doors which tend to break over time. In the back here, there's a spare tire, LED lights. This is bolted to the bumper. It contains your sewer elbows, so you don't have to put this in with your stuff. There's actually 2 sets of sewer elbows because we have 2 sewer tubes here which contain 2 Rhino sewer tubes. It's handy to have two sewer tubes because sometimes you're parked in a large campsite and the connection is far away. Here's the other cargo compartment. I usually keep the wheel chocks and leveling blocks in here. There's a courtesy outlet. Between both left and right wheels there's a 12-volt outlet, which is good for your electric air pump, as well as USB, which is handy when you want to charge your phone. Here's the front door. We don't have a dog. Our greyhound died many years ago, but we do have friends that have dogs. Sometimes they come with us or we dog sit. And one of the dogs was scratching the screen. I replaced the screen with gnat screen. But I put this piece of plexiglass on here, which is velcroed in place to protect the screen. Also, you'll notice there's a electric door latch here. If you don't like this, it's programmable. You don't have to carry keys with you. I have the original door latch as well. There's the original Escape trailer. The TV is just an inexpensive Vizio, and they have a set of speakers and a DVD player, which I think is up in the cabinet somewhere. In this drawer here, you'll see the restringing kit. We'll get to that later. This is the optional extra cabinet. There's some stickers on here. They will come off with some WD-40. It's a slide-out thing from IKEA, which is kind of handy. This cabinet is where you would normally put, excuse me, bad mic, kill the cameraman, microwave. This also has a slide out here. You can take this out, put the microwave in, which comes with it. There's an outlet in there. There's the closet. Another cabinet down below, great for putting your liquor in. Oh, I forgot this. There's a electronic safe in here, and I'll have to recode that so it's ready to go. You can keep your narcotics and weapons in here. And there's another cabinet down here as well. You'll see there's child safety locks on here. Sometimes they pop open going down the road, so we put the locks in there. There's the refrigerator. It's a Dometic. It seems to work fine for us. And here's the owner's manual and all the documentation that came with it, including the importation documentation. The upstairs lights here change color. You can turn them off with this light switch here if you don't like that. Or there's a little fan here in the corner. And we also have outlet there with USB and another outlet, 12-volt outlet with USB. The control for the colored lights is around the corner here somewhere. It's programmable. I just basically leave it unprogrammed. The batteries are located, down below here. There's a full stove with oven and range hood. There's a water pump switch here. There's also another one in the bathroom, which is very handy. This is the hot water heater gas, turns on the gas hot water heater. And this tells you your levels and whatnot. There's a secondary hot water switch down here, so you don't have to go outside the camper. The way they had it wired up from the factory, you have to go outside and open up the compartment door for the hot water heater and turn the switch on. This way you can just do it from down here. What else? There's also a marine grade fan up here, very quiet, and cabinets up above. These are not lighted up. Here's the bathroom. You see we relocated the shower over here because we didn't like the hose hanging down over the sink. And there is a very inexpensive cabinet here. We had to put these little straps in here to keep everything from falling out. A friend of ours made this stained glass here that's just held in with double-sided tape. You can take that out if you don't like it. And it's actually quite roomy in here. There's a residential style faucet here because the original one was so low you couldn't get your hand underneath it, and a soap dispenser. Oh, and here's the water pump switch. That's about it. I'm not sure what else I can say. If you have any questions, let me know. Here's an addendum to my earlier video. Here's the DVD player. It's just an inexpensive ONN. Plugs into the HDMI into the video. We watch DVDs in the campground. There's remote controls. Here's the safe in the open position. Like I said, you can keep your firearms in there or whatever you want. There's the gas furnace. And up above, the air conditioner, kind of loud. And there's a fan. The screen needs to be cleaned, but it does pop out easily for cleaning. And it has like 7 different speeds. Also, and this is a escape feature, the table slides back and forth. Just make it easy to get into the seat. Here's the blind that all the other blinds are working fine. This one's a little whingy, as you can see. I think it needs to be restringed. Oddly enough, it does pull down normally. Apparently these things do wear out over time. There's a little shelf here and some of these storage things for your personal items. Tissue dispenser, a couple other things like that. Here's the backup camera. It does come with a display. It's an RF system, works pretty well. You'll notice there's some duct tape on the antenna there where I hit it with my car wash brush. There is 2 extra brand new antennas in this parts box. I just haven't got around to installing them yet. Also, you'll see the solar panel up above hasn't gotten much use. Sitting in the storage locker, but it will keep the batteries charged. Here's another addendum. Here's 3 yards of original upholstery fabric. We were going to have some cushions made for the bed. I'm sorry we didn't do that because it would have made it much more comfortable sitting up and reading. And this bag has the original faucet as well as an earlier replacement faucet, which was a marine item. I don't know if they'll go back in there or not, but it is what it is. There you go. And that's about it. I'm going to do one final video here, just a walk around. Here's the VIN number plate, which matches the one on the title. We have a clear title with no liens. This is the right-hand window here, is the one that was placed under warranty by Lippert. Apparently they had problems with the window sealing. Here's a hint with these windows: don't crank them closed too much because the crank mechanism attaches to the inner glass. And if you crank it hard enough, you'll literally pull the window apart. You'll also notice, if you look at the videos carefully, that I have little pieces of wacky noodle and the knobs keeps them from coming open while it's going down the road. That was sort of a helpful hint from the people at the Escape forum. Anyway, I'm trying to get some good video here, but there we go, zoom out. That's as far as it zooms. It's hard to do this with a cell phone. I should use my other camera. The nice thing about fiberglass RVs is it's one piece of solid fiberglass. Don't do this to an Airstream. You'll really annoy the owner after you put a $3,000 dent in it. These things are solidly built, and they're a little heavy as a result. There's the vent for the batteries. The batteries are lead acid, they're not AGM. They are working fine, but the unit is several years old, so they will eventually have to be replaced. Here's a little map of the states we've been to in this camper. We've actually been to all the Canadian provinces in Alaska in our casita. We haven't been to the unexplored territories and the disputed lands, but we have been to Newfoundland and Labrador, and I highly recommend. I would go to Newfoundland before going to Alaska, quite frankly. And Newfies are wonderful people. Well, Canadians in general are wonderful. Anyway, we've been to all the states here except for this one. There's the fan for the overhead. You have to undo these little latches to keep it. And there's some more hooks. The awning is electric. It has this nice remote control. I want to do a separate video about the awning. The awning power switch is located here. You turn it on when you turn it off when you're going down the road, so the awning doesn't accidentally just extend. That would be catastrophic. Turn it on and it beeps to let you know it's working. And there's a remote control mounted up here. It's magnetically attached. This was a LED light on the awning, but it's not working, unfortunately, and it could be replaced, I suppose. The awning is in good shape. Might be a little dirty and mildewy. It will stick a bit if it's been sitting for a while, which it has been for a year now. But I have exercised it so it comes in and out. Unlike a lot of other awnings, like on our casita in our van, there are no legs on this awning. It's completely cantilevered. And it's amazing how far out it'll go. But it has a sensor in it, so that if you have too much wind, it should, there's the sensor, this little guy right here, it should retract itself if you get, there it goes, if it gets too much wind. That being said, I wouldn't leave it out and walk away for hours at a time. Those little hooks on there were for hanging little patio lights. Again, they're 3M hooks. They probably should come off with no trouble if you don't want them on there. And that's the awning video.